Hey everyone, hope everyone is having a blessed day. Thank you for joining me. Sinister Baller here with another video in the series Father at 55. Where this video I'll go into what's going on with the what went on in the first trimester and what me and my wife did in that first trimester, and a couple of firsts and 1 second. So before I get into that, I want to thank all of you that have subscribed, all the new subscribers to the channel. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching my content. And for those of you who have watched the content but have not subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button and hit the bell notification bell icon so you get notified when I drop a new video. So with that, let's get into it. First, I want to start with please excuse my hair. I'm letting it grow, and I'm letting it grow so I can get my dreadlocks back. So growing my locks back. I had locks, started locks the first time in 2011, got them cut off about 3 years ago, and want to grow them back. So plan is to die with locks on my head. So that's the plan. It's more about my commitment to my faith and to my family. So that is what I want to show with those, and plus, I just like my locks. But for now, you got to deal with me looking like an older, sexier Dwayne Johnson, from Get Shorty. Like that. Anyway, it's a stretch, but you know what I mean. All right. So the first trimester was saw us preparing to move, and a couple first. So let me go over the move first, because the other stuff is a lot more exciting. So the move. We wanted a place to a 2-bedroom, so baby baller could have his own room, and so mama baller can decorate and things like that. So that's what we wanted. So and I wanted to live around mostly black folks. So the only city in South Florida that I like and that fits that bill, is Miramar. So it's a lower middle class black community. It's leaders, as far as the mayor on down, is mostly black, and and just love it. So Miramar, aka Kingston 21, was where we decided to look. I think the only issue that we had really was the way we dealt with management, as far as the walkthroughs. Some places we went, they would, hey, here's a key, stuff like that, and go look at it, and not really that personal kind of touch, and so that was kind of lacking, and also with the pricing going up and things like that, it was getting kind of ridiculous. So a lot of these places, they call themselves luxury apartments, and there's really nothing luxury about them. They're standard. They're clean. Okay, but you want to call it luxury because you have a semblance of security, which most of the time I've lived in one apartment community that I thought had real security. They had a car trap, as far as the gate. They had a double gate, and they had armed security on site. So that's the only one where I felt like there was actually security. The other ones, nah, not so much. So it was more of you got to protect yourself kind of thing. So and a lot of them charge for the amenities. What they advertise online is the base rent, but not without all the fees that they charge, and the amenity fee, water, sewage kind of thing. So So yeah, and some places, they force you to choose their internet service provider. So, let's say you love AT&T, you have an AT&T phone, all this stuff, and you have everything bundled, and you move into a spot, and they force you to go to Comcast or go to Hotwire or something like that. There goes your bundle. So you end up paying more for your cell service, so phone and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of things to consider, within the move, but we pretty much came up with a plan early on. Um, Decided which city, decided what we wanted, 2 bedroom, and she wanted to make sure she was on the top floor. So it's a her mindset is, when she was single and, living by herself, she wanted to, live on the top floor if you're going to come get me, she going to make it hard on you. So that was the mindset. So yeah, but, so yeah, that's what we look for. We found a spot, and, it was, that's something I'll get into briefly, in the because we moved in during the second trimester, but a little foreshadowing is it sucked. The moving sucked. But I'll get into a little bit more detail, on that. But that was pretty much our what we were doing as far as the moving. That was more of research, apartments, getting feedback, reviews online, things like that, and narrowing those down, and going to take a look at those apartments and things like that. So also in the first trimester, we had some firsts. We had the first doctor's appointment, first ultrasound, and we actually had the first 2 ultrasounds in the first trimester. So the first one was at 7 weeks, and the second one was at 13 weeks, I believe. Yeah. So the first doctor's appointment, um, I had been through this process before, so I really wasn't nervous. But my wife was nervous. This is her first time. She wants to make sure everything is good, everything is healthy, she's healthy, everything is great. First doctor's appointment. Okay. How are you feeling? You were kind of nervous today.
I am still nervous.
You're still nervous. Okay. All right. So was it chunky or not?
Really? It was not chunky.
She doesn't like throwing up, so
No.
yeah. She had the nerves and a little sickness this morning, so, but we'll see what's up. And yeah, come back when we're in the doctor's office. Especially with her having fibroids, she wanted to make sure everything was good. So the first doctor's appointment, went fairly well. Oh, excuse me. It went fairly well. I kind of, didn't like the doctor's office or the doctor. This was the OBGYN that she had, and the one that performed a surgery on her fibroids to remove some fibroids from herself. So, this is the one she wanted to go to. So we went, and we saw her. Like I said, I really wasn't feeling it, and so yeah, that was that. But she did give us warm and fuzzies about how she was doing, what to expect, how to eat, things like that, as far as exercise, all that good stuff. So that was the basic, first doctor's appointment. But the first ultrasound was at 7 weeks. Okay. And that's something that, of course, we were both looking forward to. And, we went in, and that first ultrasound, it's kind of weird. I was going in there thinking, yeah, the baby's going to be formed. I'm gonna see a head. I'm gonna see some arms. I'm gonna see this. I'm gonna see that. No, no. It's just a blob of cells. Really. so, it's just a ball. And you know how in the ultrasound, the ultrasound tech, they'll, point to different, they'll put an arrow here. This the arm. This. It was just a arrow there, and it said baby.
Yeah, that's a very good heartbeat.
I'm asking her. And that was it. So yeah, it was and my wife has an app on her phone. It's called What to Expect. Okay, so we every week, and she had it set to, every week it'll tell you, oh, your baby's as big as this or as big as that, stuff like that, and she had it set to fruit. So at 7 weeks, it said, your baby is as big as a blueberry. Okay. So we went to the first ultrasound. I saw just the ball, cells, and said, baby, I was calling my son, blueberry. From that, I was like, so how's the blueberry doing? So he was blueberry. So yeah, that was entertaining. But it's amazing how you go in with one kind of mindset, and it kind of changes and evolves. Once you actually see these ultrasounds, and you kind of look forward to the changes and what's next, and things like that. So blueberry was healthy, and blueberry was healthy and growing. So everything was great in the first ultrasound. We weren't able to hear the heartbeat. Usually, you can hear the heartbeat by then, but we weren't able to hear the heartbeat. We could actually see that the heartbeat was beating, but we couldn't hear it. Or it would actually, in the monitor, it would show it was beating, but we couldn't really hear it, because of the fibroids that were in the way, that were preventing uh, uh, um, the sound to come through, or the ultrasound machine to pick up the sounds, so we could hear. So that was disappointing. We wanted to make sure that everything was good with the heart, everything was good. They tried to, everything's great, everything's this, and we want to hear it. So that was a little bit disappointing. But as long as everything was healthy, blueberry was healthy, everything was going great, going perfect. So that was good. But fast forward 6 weeks, we get to ultrasound number 2. Okay, so we go in, and we're geeked, to hey, we're gonna find out. Hopefully we'll find out what sex it is, because yeah, when we wanted to find out what sex it is, and all that good stuff. So and hear the heartbeat. So, but usually, what is it, babe? 15 weeks? Yeah, usually it's at 15 weeks that you can find out what sex it is, and things like that. But we were hoping at the 13 week we could get an idea, but we were like, okay, yeah, you're not getting wide, so it's not a boy. It's your belly's going out, so it's a boy. All the women want to prognosticate on what it is. So, but I have two boys. I had two boys prior to baby baller. So I was like, yeah, it's most likely going to be a boy. So we go into the second ultrasound, and the blueberry is a little bit bigger. Blueberry is a little bit bigger, and but I'm still calling blueberry, so because that's the first one. So, and we're able to hear the heartbeat. Ah, there it is. This is our first time hearing the heartbeat. Yeah. Nice and healthy. Nice, healthy heartbeat within the range. I believe 150 to 160, beats per minute. really, really strong, really, really healthy. So, we were happy about that, as you can hear. So, really, really happy. Found out, found out what I already expected. The prognosticators said it was, and it's a boy.
I think it's a boy. We think it's a boy. Look here, I'm almost like 90-something%. It's so big.
All right, Junior. All right, Junior.
So happy, and already had the name, Junior Baller. So yeah, already had the name picked out. Everything is good. There's no question about that. So so very, very happy at the second ultrasound. So those were the major kind of events in the first trimester. The first ultrasound, seeing Blueberry for the first time, and the second ultrasounds, Blueberry's getting bigger. Hear the heartbeat, everything's great, and preparing for the move. So those were really, really the top things that we were dealing with, and what we experienced in the first trimester. The second trimester, a lot more stuff. A lot more stuff that we did, had to prepare for. Like I said, we moved in to the apartment during the second trimester. Did a lot of other things, a lot of great things, but one really, really, really scary thing happened during the second trimester that I look forward to sharing, and it really, really tested, me and my wife, as far as sticking together, and showing her and me that, we really, really wanted this for each other, and and we want to make each other happy. So, and that this was going to, this was going to work. It really, really, that was really the first time, that I had a good feeling that this was really, really going to work, and we were going to be okay for the long haul. So I look forward to sharing that with you guys. One other thing regarding the shirt. I know I usually put a description of the shirt I'm wearing, a link to where you can buy, because I like to promote Black-owned businesses. But this shirt I got on a cruise, on the Welcome to Jamrock cruise last December, and in Jamaica. Where was it? We stopped at Montego Bay. Yeah. So got off the boat, and they take you around shopping, and and all that good stuff. So went to one of the shops, got this, and got some other stuff. But yeah, no link. I'll put a description in there. How I got it. It was kind of a funny story, but the people I met and things like that. But no description on where to buy or anything like that for this one. But it's a cool shirt. Nice conversation starter. So if you can see a couple of the words, a couple of the phrases, that's cool. Yeah, so that's it for this video. That's it for this episode. And please, again, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell icon, so you can get notified when I drop new content. Until then, remember, mindset is the only word you can control. WFAW. Peace.